Good morning everybody, welcome back. Thank you for coming back and sticking with me. I'm only showing this, you'll see why I'm showing this, but I haven't got any other visuals right now. This is, this could go under many titles. I don't know, we'll see how it comes out. Hello Kitty. Come on, talking about not having any visuals. I'm in my little recovery room again at home because I've had operation number 2. Slightly different one came along. So I'm sitting in this room. I've built myself these shelves and I've filled them with things that I would like to look at when I can't move around much and dream of more mobile days. Typical. I've shut the door so I don't get too many noises, and the cat wants out now. So anyway, here we are, back to these. Dug a couple more out of the boxes because yes, we're moving, and yes, we will get round to that sooner or later. And then a few other bits and pieces just to stare at. You know when you've had an anaesthetic, you just stare into space at times. So I am staring into space. What's going on then? Operation number 2, as a consequence of operation number 1, and we talked about this, and in fact I raised it and said this is probably going to happen. Some very old fillings came out of some very old teeth, and those teeth have had to be removed. For anybody of a delicate disposition, squeamish, or who, like myself, am dentist phobes, dental phobic, stand by. You might want to move on by a minute or so. I'll be quick. The teeth had problems a long time ago, and I had to have some fillings put in them, quite big ones, to kind of hold the teeth, get the level right, and all of that kind of thing. We don't need to go into those details. But what happened was the byproduct of the previous surgery was that they got sort of interfered with. That's not the right word. They got a little bit of aggressive. You know, I'm under anaesthetic, man. I don't know what I'm saying. They got bumped and they broke. And the trouble is that less than half the tooth remained. Obviously the roots and then bits sticking up. I've had to have them out because they're cutting my cheek. And I went into the hospital. They've got to be, lots of work got to be done on them because I've got funny teeth. The roots are clawed, so they don't like to come straight out. And my nerve, which is quite big, wraps around them. And if you nick the nerve, then your face sags and it's like you've had a stroke and it doesn't recover. So I had to be A, knocked out, B, lots of work done. That's only part of what's going on, and the consequence is that I'm speaking to you now. I decided to do it now because the anaesthetic hasn't worn off. Tomorrow is not going to be fun, but it means I'm just sitting around again. I can't exactly even do model making because I've done this in the past. I've had a go. I get covered in glue and paint and the model just doesn't look like anything. So there we are. This is where we're up to. I'm doing lightweight shifting around of model boxes when I feel up to it. Hello. Let's see. See, we've moved. We now live in a place where other people live, and you get sounds like that rather than sheep coughing. So anyway, that's where we're up to. We will see what happens. So there's a bit of a shifting gears. What I might do instead is sort of review obscure films like that. If you're a fan of 2001, A Space Odyssey, and what's the other one? Solaris in particular. You want to have a look at that one. And a couple of other bits and pieces I've been poking through. So let's see what we can drop in the next few days and weeks, perhaps. There is operation number 3 coming, because that operation, and again, get ready to put your fingers in your ears if you're squeamish, we need a little bit of detail here. That operation, you're going to think, what were they doing in your teeth? Don't worry, you weren't there and you don't want to know. That operation was actually on the, here we go, press mute for a moment, was on the inner wall of my bladder. And I had to have a lot of stuff scraped out to check that it isn't, you know, carcinogenic. Just got the positive through on that one. Hooray, not carcinogenic. But they said something I never thought I would ever hear. They said, Mr. Meltdown, your bladder is an unusual shape. So they got to go back in and look round the corner, basically, because they couldn't get to the top to have a good look, to check the top end where the kidney feeds into it. Which makes you think I was under general anaesthetic. They could have had me out for ages. They must have been in a rush to get in there and get out, sort of thing. I think they had a lot of work on their hands in that cheeky little proto-football. So I apologise for sharing all this, but I feel like I've got to, you know, come clean about a couple of things and explain why things are so slow. So I've got to go back in April. Oh, the joy. There, it managed to muck up Christmas, now it's going to muck up Easter. I don't think it stops me eating chocolate Easter eggs, but at my age with my teeth I'm not that much of a fan. Thank you for watching. I apologise for sharing all this, but I was looking back at my channel and thinking, oh, I'm just leaving everybody hanging here. So we will do some other things for a bit and then get back to making models. So thank you for watching, thank you for coming back, thank you for tolerating that, and we will hopefully be doing more joyous things if I heal up properly, and more joyous things until April. Yeah, thanks, see you again soon. So due to my weakened state, I didn't actually tell you what had happened, which, well, you know, was the aim of the thing. Look, there's old Father Time, who I made several years ago, looking remarkably like death because he is simultaneously that character. Anyway, we'll come on to this farm another day, some oldies. So what happened? So they couldn't grip onto the teeth very well. So that was what they said, you know, was an issue. But I got in and a nice surgeon came along and said, oh, we're you know, a bit busy in the NHS at the moment. We haven't had time to have a proper look at your x-rays. Let's have a look at them now, because I noticed something. And I said, yeah, I understand, because I do. There's lots of political angles we can take on this, but well, hello Kitty. I think she's worried about my condition. Anyway, so, you know, you can get all political about it. We'll deal with this another day. But I didn't want to, because I wanted my teeth out. I said, yeah, whatever, let's have a look. And she said, there's so little of your teeth left. If we'd seen this, we wouldn't have done it, because we're dentists. Really, you need a surgeon. And they will drill out bits of your jaw and da-da-da. I've had that done before. And I didn't really know that there was a difference, because I try not to think about it. But that was what she said. And then she said, so it could go wrong. In which case, if we get there and we feel that we can't do it, then we'll have to, you know, wake you up and send you home. And then we'll get you onto the waiting lists again for surgery. And I was like, well, whatever. I said, there's probably enough there to keep me going for a month or so. She said, A, you'll be waiting more than a month, and B, no, there isn't enough there. And then she said, and if we get you, and we're working on you, and we get halfway through and we find we can't do it, then we'll have to rush you to surgery anyway. Oh, that wasn't a happy situation. Oops, I pressed the off button. Yeah, there's no gong today. I haven't got the strength to find it. So, so she said, yeah, if we get halfway through the dental surgery and we find we can't do it, we'll have to rush you to surgery. Now, because that's complicated and because it was an issue and all of that, they'd taken their time. This is now 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I was hoping to get home by 4. I'd gone in at 11:30 in the morning, hadn't eaten anything since midnight. So that was a charmer. And I said, yeah, okay. And the anaesthetist sort of said, yeah, we're going to have to adjust your anaesthetic as well, because we didn't think you'd need to be in for so long and so, complicated a situation. And I was very disappointed, to say the least. But anyway, they did it. They got it done. They did have problems. My mouth on one side is swollen like mad. And like I say, I can only really talk to you now because the anaesthetic hasn't worn off, and I know it. It's going to be a miserable time coming up. So I thought I'd better let you know very shortly. I am currently rinsing my mouth out with salt water, well, not right now, on a near constant basis. So what a barrel of laughs. And as I was saying, I felt at this point I'm kind of getting nowhere, and there's more to come, which means I need to explain why I'm not around so much. Please stick with us, because we have lots and lots of lovely models to make yet, and hopefully I'll be around to do it. At this rate, these models again, just if I didn't buy a single model again at this pace, it's going to take me about 10 years to do them. Admittedly, some of these have been done already. These are oldies and goldies, and these are ones that have come out of boxes that I've gone, oh yeah, I was halfway through that. Along with finding a lot of tools and paint, but we'll cover all that later. So thank you for watching, thank you for putting up with this one. I could have done a short one just saying sorry I haven't been well, couldn't I? Not gone into details, but I'd been too oblique previously, and that wasn't fair. So from me, oh no, haven't done him yet. Have done him. So from me and the Black Knight of Nuremberg and the Red Knight of Vienna and the Blue Knight of Milan, who's coming up. Good night.